Hey, good morning, guys. It's 10:35, and this is June 2nd, which makes day 44 here in Thailand. Cheap bicycle across Thailand. Today is, excuse me. Today is just about leaving Phuket Island. I'm going to be taking the western road along the west side of the island. So the road excuse me, the road's not actually listed under Google Maps, but under organic maps, it lists the name. It's the 4030, or it's also called the Wiset Road. So that's Wiset, Wiset. It's the road that more or less encircles the all of Phuket Island. Anyway, I'll be taking mostly that all the way around. Yeah, it looks like I'm just going to be taking that all the way around until I reach the bridge again up north, and I'll be exiting and then continuing along the southern coast or the western coast of Thailand. How far I'm going to get, I don't know. Just going to start pedaling and see how many kilometers I can get down. I really didn't pre-plan anything. I was going through some of my emails. In fact, along with my PayPal, I noticed some donations, which I would like to actually thank those people now. So let's see, I would like to thank John G. Thank you for the donation. John D. Royale, and Barry B. Thank you guys for the donations that you put in. Like I said, sometimes I'm a little late getting to these donations because I don't check my emails every day, and I don't check my PayPal and stuff like this. And so I do appreciate it, guys. I really, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm one of those people that I get wrapped up in the here and now. I try and enjoy the moments as much as possible. And once you start pre-planning so much, then you're always living in the future, and trust me, I like the comforts of pre-planning too. I like to get on booking.com and figure out where the next cheapest location is. And that's what threw off, made me notice how expensive Singapore is. And Doug's been actually from Planet Doug, has been helping me a lot, because he has these experiences with doing a YouTube channel because of his channel, and he travels around this whole area. So he's really given me a great insight, firsthand knowledge that he's had, and I do appreciate it. He's told me about a ferry that I can go from Malaysia over, take my bicycle over to, anyway, I can take it over to the Indonesia islands and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of what that island actually called. Medina. Go over to like Medina and stuff like that. And I could just bypass Singapore altogether. And that's actually what it's looking more and more like, because Singapore is very small, but two, foods, he's saying it's highly regulated, so the camping is almost off the table. So, I mean, I'll take his word for it. I'm pretty sure I can find spots to camp, but it might just be a hassle. I don't know. I don't know how packed Singapore is. I don't know if it's just like a Hong Kong style, city, or what the deal is. Technically, I haven't been to Hong Kong either, so I don't know. So I guess I shouldn't be using that as a comparison. But these are all things I had to look into. The company that I did go through to get my Malaysia, the digital entry card thing, they're not like a fly-by-night type operation. They're iVisa. They're like the first one that comes up when you Google. They're the first sponsored link and all this stuff. And so I paid probably a little bit more going through them and using their services, but there's still a $30 entry fee. into Malaysia to begin with, and they do require an exit strategy, and like meaning, I I would know the first thing of going about how to pre-plan a ferry trip. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to still hang on to my Singapore ticket as proof to get in, because the company iVisa, they don't even send it in until the day before, because the Malaysia government doesn't take anything more than like 24 hours before entry. You know, so they don't want stuff that's, you know, they don't want a lot of paperwork. You know, coming in, you know, from years prior or stuff like that. So. Yeah, so I could have probably went through the company, through just the government, waited until like the last minute and just went through the government website, and then probably saved more. But the thing is, I just didn't know about that option. And like I said, the thing I use is something called Passport Dashboard, and they usually list only reputable companies. And so I clicked on it because it was like a link that, you know, you have to fill out paperwork type link, you know, like any type of e-visa. And so I just kind of took their word that it was a good company, and it is. It's not a bad company. It's just I'm probably paying a service charge for, you know, using them. And so instead of $30, I'm paying $50. And then on top of that, they still like, well, we can't file this paperwork until you have a proof of where you're going to be staying, you know, which is fine. That requires is you know, the address of the hostel I'm going to be at, and then two, from what I was been told is they do check on the exit ticket though, and because someone was told me that they used to be able to get kind of like these phony tickets. It's like preview tickets, and and that means you're like holding a spot, but haven't really initially paid for the ticket, right? But you're holding that ticket, and they didn't accept it. You know, they're like, oh no, we can't accept this. This is you haven't actually purchased the ticket yet. This is just showing that you're holding on to the ticket. And I think the Hopper app does the same thing. It's called price freezing or something like that. And but they give you the information for the ticket. So he was using that information for the ticket that they were holding. You know, it costs you like $10 to hold a ticket. And yeah, so anyway, they didn't accept that. So I still needed the proof and all this. So I have the ticket right now to Singapore, which was only 30 some odd dollars, right? Because I went through Booking, and Booking charges a little extra. So yeah, so I have that. But if I'm not able to get my money back on that, it might be one of those things where I have to just eat it. You know what I'm saying? Because if Singapore is going to just be a headache and a hassle when I get down there, where it's just like money, 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 by giving up that $30 ticket, if I can't get my money back, I'm going to try though. Then it might save me more money in the long run just by not going to Singapore. You know, unfortunately, I'd love to go say, yeah, I've been to Singapore, you know, I got the patch on my backpack for it, you know, or whatever. But I had to think about which plausible or what's feasible on my bank account. And Singapore it looks like it's ridiculous prices. And Doug said, yeah, no, he vouched for that. So, yeah, thank you guys for the donations. Doug, thank you so much for all the information that you been giving me along this whole time. It's been very valuable, because I know that you're only a hop, skip, and a jump from this place anyway. At least, you know, you're not that far from me. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on the bicycle, start pedaling, go get some caffeine first. And actually, the 7-Eleven here, if you ever come and stay at this hostel, which I highly recommend if you're a hostel person, stay here. It's a beautiful 7-Eleven. It's got like a big tables on the inside and stuff, so you can cook up whatever you want, and it's a big one. It's got a pharmacy hooked up to it, and you can just sit there and enjoy the cheaper food. you know. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hit the road. That's my morning babble for 10 minutes, and yeah. All right, guys, let's get this day started. Okay, official start time is 11 o'clock. I'm trying a new platform called Relive. It was a recommendation. Strava was fine and dandy, but I was basically only using it because of its free flyover, which I thought was free, but I guess it was only on trial basis. It didn't mention anything about it being a trial basis. And without the flyover, it really is a limited app. So Relive came on a recommendation by Doug. He said it also has a free flyover, but they also are trying to sell you on the paid version, but at least they offer on the free version, they offer you a free flyover. It also doesn't require you to have the app to watch the flyovers, so that's one of the pluses. So you guys will be able to click on the link and see the flyover without having to install the app. So that's why I'm doing a platform switch. And yeah. And I apologize for the ones that might have Strava, but honestly, you don't pay for the Strava, you're kind of limited. So like I said at the beginning when I started to use it, if it looks like one of those pay for ads or pay for apps where you have to pay, then I'd stop using it. All I'm trying to do is find one that has a free flyover.
엄마랑 사진 찍는 거.
นั้นคือไม่ได้เลยว่าเราต้องมีปัญหาจริงๆเราต้องชัดเจนก่อนที่จะให้เขามาขายเพื่อตัดปัญหาใครพอใจจะมาขายเข้ามาใครไม่พอใจไม่ชอบก็ไม่ต้องมามันก็มีง่ายมันก็สรุปมันก็ดีไม่ได้มาแก้ปัญหาเนี่ย
저 자식 뻗다 내가.
아니, 서울스가 마치 차비를 없어. 근데 남편은 저녁 먹으러 갔는데 와이프는 나이같이 예쁘대. 하루하루가 더 예쁘다 그래갖고 그 사이로 남편은 잘못 왔어. 그만한 기억이 안 나.
Looks like I took the back entrance again. I'm really always good about going in the back door and coming out the front. I have a knack for it. So anyway, as I exit, that's where I should have probably entered. Anyway, my bike's over here. You again, huh? Yanui Beach, back down that way. Nasty uphill with no shoulder. Pushing with absolutely no shoulder, just a big old ditch on one side. And yeah, I'm almost to the top though, because through those trees I can see the base of a wind turbine. So they're only going to build those wind turbines on the top of the hill, right? It wouldn't make sense the other way around. Yep, I'm at the top of the hill, but there's also an added benefit here. Paragliders. Ooh, get a few little film of them. It's pretty awesome. And that's the beach I was at, right down there. And I had to come up the hill. This hill. And those are the paragliders I saw from down below. That's awesome. Beautiful overlook right here by the, just look for the big windmill. And the big wind turbine. And you'll find this place. It's nice, man. It's a great view. 360. Just look for that thing. And these guys, I think, came on their own. So I think this was just, it's not like they're selling these tours up here. These guys just knew where to take off from. And obviously, their launching pad looks like it's fairly used. Like a lot of people actually probably launched from here before. Anyway, guys, yeah, I just lucked out. They were up here. Paragliding. Awesome. That's cool. Looks like they're packing up now. Yeah, anyway, guys, I'll drop the names of that beach. It's an awesome beach. There's a big downhill to get to it, and it's very steep uphill. So it drops straight down to the beach and straight back up, and no shoulder. So It's one of those hills that you get off and push. At least I do. I don't know what the limit for how steep you guys can go, but yeah. So it's a beautiful spot, man. I'm glad I took this and I didn't take a shortcut to the island. Like I said, I hope this app also picks it up. This is the first time using this app, and if it's got the free flyover, that's all I'm worried about. If I can put a link to a free flyover where you guys don't need the app for it. Like I said, with the Strava, that was on a trial basis anyway. And it seemed like I thought it was on the free version. So I was like, yeah, cool. It's got, I mean, I really like the flyover view after I learned how to actually put the link for the flyover and not just to one of the generic maps. I was putting a link to the generic maps, but I think now that my trial's up, those links to the flyovers are no good, you know. So yeah, I'm just looking for a good 3D flyover view that I can link up to my in the descriptions, and I'm trying to get more information, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I'm trying to, if this one works out, the relive, then I'll start using the relive. And I'm sorry guys, you know, but if Strava is only giving me generic options, I can't pay the $7 a month. That's a bill, and I worked my whole life not to have bills, because you can't live this life and have bills. So yeah, well, you can't be homeless and actually have bills. It doesn't work out. Bills means work, and work means not traveling. So I chose traveling, which meant no work, which meant no bills. Okay guys, I'm going this way down the hill now. I got over the worst of it. The uphill was very short. It wasn't real bad. It was just kind of steep. So I just came off that road. That's a hill, and I decided I found a little spot in the shade to duck into. But looking at the map, this spot right here, this hill right back here, is actually would have been a shortcut. I ended up going all the way down and around and all the way up that way, and I just noticed on the map I could have taken this road straight through and cut off a big portion of my trip. So, well, you live and you learn, right? So I'll be going up that way. I was just actually just following the main, let's see if you can actually see this or not. On this, the yellow road, I was actually just following the main yellow road, but if you zoom in right here, there is a crossroad. I'm actually sitting on it. I don't see if you can see that. So actually I ended up like right where it says elephant. Yeah, I ended up taking a long route, but that's all right. You know, I'm just gonna, I'll get off the island before the end of the day, and back on the mainland and all that stuff. And I figure if I'm gonna be walking up these hills and stuff, I'm gonna work on my tan. So that's why I don't got a shirt on. Might as well, right? All right. I'll be going that way where all the cars are. Thank you, brother.
Mẹ mới có hát nữa mà.
Don't know exactly what that means. Well, don't be bashful. Come on. No, thank you, brother. All right, guys. There's going to be a change of plans. I thought I was going to get off the island today, but I guess there was just too many hills for that. It's 5:25 right now, and I was looking at the places here. I'm actually in Ban Rim Pa. Ban Rim Pa. I'll have to put down the writing down below. But anyway, so I found a spot for $5. There was actually one for $4, which is just a little right around the corner. But its ratings were like just a step above an outhouse, you know. So I was like, I'll pay the extra dollar. I'm paying the extra dollar. I have to go back this way about a kilometer or kilometer and a half. But it had a lot better ratings. It's like everybody's mentioned how clean it is, and usually when it comes to cleanliness, if it's clean, it's also got better Wi-Fi. Usually, if the place is a dump and a dive, usually the Wi-Fi is usually really crappy too. Anyway, so yeah, I decided to pay the extra dollar just for the better ratings and the hope of having better Wi-Fi. So yeah, I'm gonna head over there, put together today's video, post it, and then hit this again in the morning. Yeah, because I wouldn't get off the island until late anyway, and then I'd be looking for a spot to crash out. So I'm going to take advantage of the fact that there's a $5 hostel down the way and go ahead and stay there. All right, guys, that's the plan. Excuse me. Home sweet home.
Take one bite. I was like, nah, like I drink all of this.
So everyone, I'm sitting here on the steps of my favorite restaurant, 7-Eleven, and having a bowl of noodles and stuff, and I'm gonna call it quits and go to bed for the night. Tomorrow I'll actually continue up north. I should be off the island tomorrow. I should be out of Phuket tomorrow. When it comes to how far and which direction how far I'm going to get or where I'm actually shooting for, I don't know. I'll figure that out tomorrow morning when I get up to go. I'm kind of pooped. There was a lot of hills today, and that kind of slowed me down. I was thinking I was gonna get out, but I didn't. So anyway, I forgot to turn this on, but I'm not gonna redo this whole thing. Just turn this thing on. So I'm gonna say goodnight, y'all, and I'm gonna get to editing this and use the Wi-Fi to get it up. And thank you everyone for your comments and stuff about Singapore being too expensive and stuff. Really, like I said, I wasn't planning. Only thing I knew about Singapore is Tom Waits had a song about it. that's good enough for me. So if you haven't ever heard the song Singapore by Tom Waits, I'll leave a link to this song in the description. You gotta hear it. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Yeah, it looks like Singapore is probably gonna just be something I pass on. I'll try and figure out how to get my money back. But I might have just blown that $30. But yeah, it looks like a no-go. If it's going to be that expensive and that well policed, you know, where it's impossible to camp, then I might just have that be a big pass on my end. So yeah, all right, guys, and thanks for the information about the digital entry card. I didn't have any idea that they basically I should have been able to fill it out for free or paid a small entry fee or whatever. Because I still think there's an entry fee, but I don't know. Like I said, I didn't research a lot of that, so. But you know what? I'll just chalk it up to the price I pay for a learning experience. All right, guys. Good night, y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Then number 4, Phuket cannot baby go stay for